my God. Oh my God. Oh.
Great news, right? I'm so happy for the both of you. Your daughter is the most important thing.
All right, folks, today's case is Poen versus Calendar, and it's a roller coaster ride of emotions. We have Rachel Poen, who's trying to prove that Anthony Calendar is the father of her daughter Zoe. But here's the twist. Anthony has some serious doubts. Let's find out why.
She moved out. He shows up with soup and a teddy bear. He asked for one last shebang.
How soon after that do you find out she's pregnant?
It was about a week after she had moved into her apartment.
A week?
I know that doesn't sound right.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It definitely doesn't sound like it was completely over.
We meet Rachel, who looks determined to prove Anthony wrong. She claims that they were in an on-again, off-again relationship, and every argument ends with Anthony denying Zoe. But Rachel is confident that Anthony is Zoe's dad. But surprise, surprise, Anthony isn't buying it.
It's a cheating past, and that is why you are convinced you aren't Zoe's father. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Posen, what is the current nature of your relationship with the defendant?
We've been on again, off again, Your Honor.
Oh boy, Anthony is not convinced at all. He believes Rachel has a history of cheating, and that's why he questions Zoe's paternity. Talk about trust issues! But Rachel stands her ground and insists that there's no doubt in her mind. This is going to be a tough one.
We had a relationship and we went our separate ways, and I've gotten long-term relationships, and my last long-term relationship, we were having hard times towards the end of it. It was about 9 years, and he hit me up on Facebook, Mr. Calendar did, and we just started talking, rekindling our love again, and we started seeing each other again.
Did you know she was in another relationship when you pursued her?
I did.
Rachel comes prepared with some serious evidence. She starts by pointing out the similarities between Zoe and Anthony. From their attitude to their tanned skin, Rachel believes it's undeniable.
So she finally gets out from this relationship with the ex, and a week later, she says to you, I'm pregnant. What are you thinking when she says that, Mr. Calendar?
I'm not at the residence with them while she's staying there, so I have no idea what they're doing. I can only go based on what she's telling me. What she's telling me, she's staying in a different room, but I'm not there. How do I know they're not in the same bedroom?
Anthony's face says it all. He's not convinced by Rachel's evidence. He thinks the similarities could just be a coincidence. Anthony takes the stand and drops a bombshell. He reveals that Rachel's ex-boyfriend called her and asked if there's a chance Zoe could be his. Oh, the drama just keeps piling up, but Rachel denies any wrongdoing. This case is getting messier by the minute.
And her birth certificate?
They wouldn't allow me to.
And so then your doubts started spinning.
She was in contact with her ex. He made the question, could it be mine?
Miss Allen, what relationship are you to Mr. Calendar?
I'm his mother. This relationship started with a hot mess, squabbling back and forth. I don't want Zoe to hear this may not be my child.
Rachel fights back, claiming that she was only sexually active with Anthony and that her ex is just trying to stir up trouble. She's not holding back, folks, but is she telling the truth? Because based on their two vastly different stories, someone is lying.
When Zoe was born, were you there, Mr. Calendar?
Yes, Your Honor.
You participated?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showed up for the birth?
That and mostly every doctor visit.
Every doctor's visit. So even though you were doubtful, you still participated?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anthony really wants Zoe to be his daughter, but he's still skeptical. And who can blame him? The evidence is stacking up against Rachel, but she's not backing down.
Started seeing each other, so
why would he ask that then?
that's another one of the reasons why I have the doubt.
But if you do the math, we were in North Carolina in December, and she was born in September.
Oh, shouldn't he be able to do the math too?
But Miss Posen, I mean, when another man calls you on your phone to just say, well, let me just ask you this, could she be mine?
Anthony's mom, Karen, takes the stand and she's emotional. She wants Anthony to be Zoe's father, and her love for the baby is evident. It's moments like these that remind us how high the stakes are in these cases. It's not just about DNA, it's about family.
Oh, really?
Yes, he did.
But you declined?
No, of course I declined. I had been over that relationship for a very long time, and I had only been sexually active with Mr. Calendar, and he knows that.
I think if he knew that, he wouldn't be here.
It's time for the moment we've all been waiting for, the DNA test results. Will Anthony finally get the answers he's been searching for? Let's find out.
Mr. Calendar, you are the father. And I'm so happy I could give you the result all of you so desperately wanted.
Meet Mr. Thomas, who claims he's been petitioning the court system for a DNA test for over a year now. He received a shocking letter from child support, informing him that he'll be paying support for a child he believes may not be his. Yikes! Talk about a bombshell. But hold on tight, because this case is about to take some unexpected turns.
There's cause to grant you a DNA test.
She was still sleeping with this man after Hannah was born. Your Honor, matter
Is
of
that
fact,
true,
matter of
Ms.
fact,
Zachary?
Yes, I was.
Matter of
yes,
fact, Your
I
Honor.
was. We wasn't supposed to get back together, so I was doing me. What's wrong with that?
I've been okay with saying maybe she's mine, maybe she's not, but maybe she's mine.
Now, let's meet Ms. Zachary, who confidently asserts that Mr. Thomas is the father of her daughter, Hannah. She's determined to bring her family back together and believes it's time for Mr. Thomas to step up to the plate. But wait, there's more. She drops a bombshell of her own, claiming that they were on a break during the time of conception.
Father of your daughter, and it's time he step up to the plate and bring your family back together.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Thomas, when did you learn you were going to be put on child support?
2 weeks ago, Your Honor. I went to the mailbox thinking I'm getting a check, and unluckily, I end up getting a paper from child support saying that half my wages is going to be taken.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I don't mean to cut him off, but that is a lie, what he's saying.
Mr. Thomas, on the other hand, isn't buying it. He recalls the moment when Ms. Zachary handed him the doctor's papers, showing that she was between 13 and 15 weeks pregnant. This got him thinking because during their supposed break, she had mentioned being 3 to 5 weeks pregnant. It seems like Mr. Thomas has some serious doubts about the timeline here.
Towards the end of August, beginning of September, she told me I feel pregnant. And we went to buy like maybe 4 or 5 pregnancy tests that
Your
day.
Honor, I found out that I was pregnant September 18th, to be exact with you. And I went to that doctor's appointment and I came home, I handed him the papers. This is my results at the doctor. This is my proof of pregnancy.
But hold on, folks. It's not just the timeline that's got Mr. Thomas questioning things. He drops a bombshell of his own, revealing that Ms. Zachary had admitted to sleeping with another man during their break. Talk about adding fuel to the fire. This revelation has Mr. Thomas doubting whether he's the biological father of little Hannah. This case just keeps getting more complicated by the minute.
That right there is your doubt, because as you were in that doctor's office and saw the calculation, and it
I didn't just
led
check,
you
I
back to
triple
the
checked.
time when you were on a break.
I triple checked,
Can I
Your Honor.
please
I did it in my
speak, Your
head.
Honor?
I got the calendar in my phone. I looked at the doctor
Your Honor,
reads.
we was on
I'm
a
like,
break.
hold on, wait a minute, let me
We were on a
triple check.
break. We were on a break.
And it led you back to the time when you were on the break.
And it led me back to exact. I'm like, no, Lord, you can't be telling me this is exact
We were on a
time.
break.
Now, let's fast forward to the day of Hannah's birth. Mr. Thomas was present at the hospital and even signed the birth certificate, believing that he was the father. But little did he know that doubt would soon creep into his mind, causing him to question everything.
Any part of anything, I would sign a birth certificate and Hannah would never know a thing. Nobody would never know a thing. This would be the biggest family secret that we ever had. And I had no problem with that. And I had no problem with that because I'm not gonna let just someone come in and destroy my family like that, you know? It just don't.
You destroyed your family.
It just don't
Your
leave
Honor,
that
he
easy.
destroyed his family. He destroyed his family from the beginning. You had doubts, and that's why you're here. Because you kept on saying you didn't know if she was yours. And I was honest.
Enter Mr. Thomas's uncle, Pierre Hill, who drops a bombshell of his own. He reveals that Ms. Zachary had shown him pictures of another man, whom she believed to be Hannah's biological father. Wait, what?
I believe there is a reasonable cause to order a DNA test. Jerome, please escort them out.
Hannah is a twin. It was Hannah and Heather. One of our twins, Hannah was the smaller one, Heather was the bigger one. She ended up passing away a month after she was born.
And if that wasn't enough, Mr. Thomas stumbles upon a text message on Ms. Zachary's phone with the contact name Hannah's dad. But get this, folks, the number doesn't match Mr. Thomas's number. Cue the gasps. Could this be the smoking gun that proves Mr. Thomas is not Hannah's biological father?
It's like she's going through like women do. I understand that. I didn't grieve that type of way, you know? She was looking at me like I didn't have any type of sympathy about what was going on. Period.
You're
But
saying
you can't.
he barely even grieved the loss. Do you believe that because he doubted the children?
Like he doubted them from the minute that I told him I was pregnant. Like he's sitting here like I wasn't honest with him.
With all this drama and doubt swirling around, it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. The DNA test results are in. Will Mr. Thomas be proven to be Hannah's father, or will this roller coaster ride take another unexpected turn? Hold on to your seats, folks, because this is about to get real.
Mr. Thomas, you are her father. Your daughter is the most important thing.
All right, let's set the scene. We have Mr. Pierce, who is questioning the paternity of his 1-year-old son, Julian. He claims that his ex-fiancée, Ms. Covell, deceived him into thinking he was the father, only to confess 6 months later that she had cheated. Talk about a bombshell.
I'm not the girl that he really now believes that I am.
I don't think we can save the relationship.
The stakes are very high.
Every time I look at him, it's a reminder.
I'm sorry. I've said I'm sorry a million times.
You're also requesting a lie detector test.
Go ahead and take the lie detector test.
I want to be able to look at him and see me, not see a question mark.
Now, Ms. Covell admits to cheating, but she still insists that Mr. Pierce is the father. She's here today to prove it once and for all. Let me tell you, folks, the tension in that courtroom is palpable. You could cut it with a knife.
Suing for fraudulent misrepresentation, am I correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Covell, you admit that you cheated around the window of conception, but you still say you have no doubt Mr. Pierce is your child's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Covell, how do you feel about being dragged into court today?
I'm a little upset. I want to prove that he's the father. I want to show him that I have been telling the truth. I know I made a mistake, but I've been paying for it every single day since I've told him.
All right, let's hear from Mr. Pierce first. He's feeling betrayed, hurt, and he's questioning everything. Can you blame him? Finding out on your birthday that your fiancé cheated? That's a low blow, folks. A real low blow.
Destroy your family. You've called off your engagement.
Correct. When I found out, I just had to call it off. I mean, there's no sense in really trying to go for a marriage because it's not true.
How do you feel when you hear Mr. Pierce say these things, Ms. Covell?
It really hurts me. I know I made a mistake at one time. We were both going through an emotional roller coaster at that time period. I made a mistake one time. I understand that my son looks nothing like him.
And then we have Ms. Covell, who's remorseful and wants to prove that Mr. Pierce is indeed Julian's father. She's been carrying the guilt of her mistake every single day. Can she convince him that she's telling the truth?
Let's get it out the air right now. I'm not gonna get mad because we're so in a good place right now. It was like, here's your free pass. She told me, that she had cheated on me back. I can't remember the exact month that she cheated on me, and I lost it. I started crying. I was very upset, and I asked her, I was like, so was it around the same time? Is it possibly his?
Oh, the emotions are running high in that courtroom. Mr. Pierce is hurt, he's angry, and he's demanding answers. Can you blame him? He's been through this before, and he's not about to let history repeat itself. Can you blame him?
This one thing led to another.
How do we know that's the only time, though? I want a lie detector test.
And the results will be revealed shortly.
That looks completely like a white baby.
So this marriage ultimately is in jeopardy.
Life has turned upside down completely.
I have the lie detector results and the paternity results. In the case of Pierce versus Covell, pertaining to 1-year-old Julian.
Now, let's talk about Julian. This adorable 1-year-old baby boy is caught in the middle of all this drama. It breaks your heart to see how this situation is affecting him. He's innocent, folks. Completely innocent.
In addition to the DNA test you request today, you're also requesting a lie detector test.
Correct, Your Honor.
We have, in fact, administered that test, and the results will be revealed shortly. You have this beautiful baby. When you look at this child, what are you thinking?
Every time I look at him, it kills me.
All right, let's dive into the evidence. Mr. Pierce has brought some baby pictures to compare himself as a baby to Julian. He's desperate to see some resemblance, some connection. Can you blame him? He wants to see himself in his son's eyes.
Pierce. Mr. Pierce, you...
I thought you would be the one girl that wouldn't do that to me. But when it comes to another person's life...
Go ahead and take the lie detector test. It was only one-time thing.
I want to show you a couple pictures here, Your Honor, that I brought for evidence.
I'd like to see that. Jerome, will you hand it to me,
First
please?
off, this is my baby picture. Then this is Julian's baby picture.
Okay.
And I've cropped them here together.
Wow, these pictures side by side are something else. You can see the desperation in Mr. Pierce's eyes. He wants so badly for Julian to be his son. You can feel the weight of his doubts, his fears. It's heartbreaking, folks.
You're right, though. He doesn't look like you. He looks identical to me. And
I understand that, and I don't want to take it out on him, but
so
with
Mr.
it not
Pierce,
being 100, how can I not?
This is a picture of...
That was me at about 6 months old.
All right, so we're looking at you at about 6 months.
Correct.
And then now...
You can see the complexion, the dark hair,
But wait, there's more. Ms. Covell also took a lie detector test. Can you believe it? The drama just keeps coming. Will the results reveal any more secrets? Will they bring some clarity to this tangled web of emotions?
Every time I look at him, I don't see me.
So So now, what's your relationship been like since all of this has transpired?
It's not there. It's just been going downhill ever since this has happened. We bicker and fight all the time, and just now it's
And so
just
this
went all
marriage
down.
ultimately is in jeopardy because of this situation.
Correct.
All right, folks, the moment we've all been waiting for. The DNA test results are in. Will Mr. Pierce finally get the answers he's been searching for? Will Julian be his son? The suspense is suffocating, so let's find out.
Mr. Pierce, you are Julian's father.
Yes!
Great news, right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're so welcome.
All right, folks, hold on to your seats because we're about to witness a case that starts with cheating allegations but takes a surprising turn towards paternity doubts. Talk about a twist! Get ready for the drama as we delve into the case of Mr. and Mrs. Jones.
His mother won.
One time.
Don't mean you ain't a father.
What was your relationship with her mom?
We're just gonna get married.
That is not the story I was told.
How many other possible children do you have?
I might have 7 kids by 7 different women. I never had a paternity test done on none of them.
We have 3 different results today.
Mr. Jones, a 48-year-old man, had been dreaming of becoming a father for as long as he can remember. But when he found out about his wife's infidelity, his dream turned into a nightmare. Sorry, buddy.
Why is it so important for you to prove paternity, and why do you have doubts?
Well, Your Honor, I ain't getting no younger, and I have health issues, and I don't tell how long I'm gonna be here.
Now, here's where things get interesting, folks. Mrs. Jones admits to cheating on her husband, but she insists that their 4-year-old daughter, Mary, is indeed his biological child. Can you imagine the tension in their household? It's like living in a soap opera.
All these kids with all these different women. You know what I'm saying? My mama's not up here because she got 8 kids. I think he's coming into his 60s, and he's catching you. All of a sudden, you got the case of morality, and you want to see, you hoping that some of these kids are not yours, so you won't feel bad about not being there.
But wait, there's more. Mr. Jones has his doubts. He even submitted a chart to the court, meticulously outlining why he believes he's not the father. That's some serious detective work, folks. This case is shaping up to be a real-life mystery.
It's a shame that it's only 3 of us up here, but you got the case of morality, and I want to know if these are my babies or whatever. He should have had everybody up here, and it ain't 7. He should have had everybody up here. You know, why did it just have to be us 3?
We have 2 other adults that are here that claim that they may be his children as well. We have Mr. Edwin, who's 29, and he's never met you, but he may be your son.
He may be my son, yeah.
Now, hold on to your hats, because we're about to reveal the biggest shocker of all. There's a whopping 25-year age difference between Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Can you believe it? Love knows no boundaries, folks.
Friend who she's also married to. But see, her stepfather is a very nice man. They sent her to Texas, and I brought her down there to Georgia to meet her black family because she didn't know she black. And then when I took the girl down there, he only spent 2 hours with us. My grandmother had to chew him out to come see us because he was about to haul
So,
Taylor
Mr. Jones, is this true? You didn't take any time to spend with
2
these
hours.
children? You haven't even met Mr. Edwin. What is that about?
All right, let's hear from the couple themselves. Mr. Jones confesses to having doubts, while Mrs. Jones remains adamant that Marie is his daughter. Oh, the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife.
Daughters up there, their mothers are related. First cousins.
That's right.
Okay, and that's disgusting. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, I didn't know
2
they
of
were
his
cousins.
kids up there, their mothers are related. All you did, Dad,
All
you was up.
I didn't know they
Before
were
we
related.
get to all that, I want to bring Mr. Edwin in. Jerome, can you please escort Mr. Edwin into the courtroom, please?
But hold on, folks. Mrs. Jones has a bombshell of her own. She claims that she felt a miraculous moment when Mr. Jones's sperm went inside her, spreading out like a spiderweb. That's one vivid imagination, folks.
And it has turned into a nightmare for your potential children.
In my eyes, you ain't man enough to even be a father.
What was your relationship with her mom?
We're just gonna get married. She got with my coworker and started dating him.
That is not the story I was told.
When it comes to the paternity of 37-year-old Ms. LaToya Jones,
To get to the bottom of this paternity mystery, the court calls upon Dr. Jamila Gator, a fertility and paternity expert. She's here to reveal the results of Mr. Jones's sperm analysis. Get ready for the truth, people.
you were only with his mother once.
One time.
Don't mean you ain't a father.
I might be the father. That's why I'm here. I need some closure on this, man. I ain't trying to deny y'all. I still have to pursue my dream because I wasn't about to stop and try to play house. Because that wasn't under me. You know, and I
But
never.
wait
I
a minute,
never
you
said-
said you're pursuing your dream and it has turned into a nightmare for your potential children.
Dr. Gator drops a bombshell. Apparently, Mr. Jones's sperm count is shockingly low, with only 3 motile sperm seen under the microscope. Talk about searching for a needle in a haystack. Will this be the end of the road for Mr. Jones's hopes of being a father?
As a
Now or
father,
never.
as a father,
You know,
regardless if you have a paternity test or not, you got to make sure your little dude who knows where he comes from.
That's
He
right.
knows where you come from. He knows.
Without your father.
Oh, life was tough. I was raised in a village, predominantly Native Americans, Alaskan Natives. Being half black and Native in a village with no other black kids around, I was never Native enough.
The tension in the courtroom is unbearable as Mr. Jones grapples with the devastating news. But folks, let's take a moment to appreciate his dedication to Taimari. Despite his doubts, he's been there for her since day one. Now that's true love.
I didn't realize I had another father other than my stepdad who raised me since, I was a baby. The way that I actually found out was I was playing with, some cousins.
All right, it's time for the moment of truth. Drum roll, please. The court reveals the DNA results, and the atmosphere is electric. Will Mr. Jones's dreams be shattered, or will he finally get the confirmation he's been waiting for? Let's find out, folks.
Mr. Jones, you are.
I respect what you said.
Comes to the paternity of 24-year-old Ms. Molly Hops. Mr. Jones, you are her father.